Holy crap, we're back. We got some more Morpho, Anatomy for Artists, Simplified Forms. It's me, Derick Jones, your boy. And we're going to just jump right in, man. We last left off on the lower limb section on page 84. Looks like we're getting into drawing the female leg. As far as reading goes, we've just got figure 1. This is the external view. Yesterday we covered a little bit of the internal and just like a real easy way that you can kind of just separate that. Figures 2 and figures 3 it just says these are just internal views. Alright, so let's get it popping. Yesterday was a good day, man. Got a lot of solid drawing done. Got some solid drawing done. Really hope this book is I know I'm like saying like I really hope this book is helping people, like it's like I wrote it. But I honestly feel like I mean I'm not gonna say it's like life changing or anything like that, because I don't like when people say shit like that, stuff like that. Oh, well, there you go, crap like that, and then like you go and do it. Like I work out a lot, and the amount of people that are like working out changes your life, and I'm like I don't know about that. I'm tired all the time and in pain, but technically I'm healthy, you know? So I don't like to speak in like weird absolutes like that, but I will say it just, I feel like my confidence with constructing things has gotten back. Like I feel like I'm very much feeling confident again, where for a while there I was feeling very, very unconfident when it came to constructing the body, when it came to just doing most things. Granted, still like last night I was working on the cover for Nosebleed 4, and I still ended up taking a picture of myself doing the pose, but before I did that, I really sat there and constructed it out as best as I could. I mostly took a picture just for like vibe. Like I was like, okay, I did this on my own, but the vibe feels kind of off. So like, let me see what it would look like if I kind of actually did the pose that I was going for, and that really helped. And then when I looked at the picture, I was like, oh, really? I really don't need to fix much. I just kind of have to fix. I think I just had to kind of fix the tilt of the head, really. So there you go. And you know, disclaimer. Obviously, like this isn't like a fix-all book or whatever. Like you still definitely got to do more depending on what level you're trying to get to, as far as drawing goes, you know. As far as drawing goes, yeah, you really gotta figure that out for yourself. But hold up, let me turn this music down. But I think this is a great refresher, great place to start if you just kind of like me. I had just been doing a lot of just kind of opening up a European comic book every day And that would basically be like my warm-up for the day. You know, kind of drawing some Toth, some Alain Dodier, some this other guy, Alfonso Font, who's really awesome. I really like his art. Lately, though, I've been looking at some old Frank Miller. His Electra Saga, especially. He was doing some really cool panel layouts in that. The drawings aren't the greatest. Like, you know, I was actually looking at that book, and then I also have like the Phoenix Saga, which was, you know, Byrne, Terry Austin, and a lot of these guys that were doing these monthly books, man, they were really, that art in those books are very, I don't want to say rough, but they're very economic. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a whole lot of diddly-daddling there. Everything is really story focused. As far as like the drawing goes. And so I'm kind of like looking at that and kind of just like, okay, you know, this is I'm looking at monthly comics right here. You know, these guys really didn't, I mean, it's labored over, but it's also just, again, it's stuff just to kind of keep the pages turning, keep the story moving. Art. And there's something I really like and respect about that I don't think, you know, you can really kind of do these days. You know, you kind of have to have splash pages and really big moments. I don't really think there's that many splash pages in either of those books, especially the Electra Saga stuff. Like, I mean, there's like no splash pages. It's all just story. But I gotta tell you, splash page comes in clutch. I just did one the other day, and I was like, oh man, thank God. I was like, thank God I don't have to draw anything tiny. But there's also this kind of moment that I'm reading this book right now called The Inner Game of Tennis. I forget who wrote it, but it's called The Inner Game of Tennis. I'm going to have to tilt this a little bit so I can really see what we're doing here. And that book is awesome because it kind of tells you, like, stop trying so hard with whatever you're trying to do. And I feel like this series, you know, working on this series with Nosebleed, especially, I feel like there's this moment there where I was like, you know, the harder I was trying to make things, you know, look cool and be explosive and be expressive, like the less that it looked like that, the more stiff it felt. Which is, you know, it's crazy because it's like, well, I'm trying hard. Like, I really want this to look good. But in doing so, like, you're almost like, I guess you're focused, like, according to this book, it's like you're focusing so hard on that you're not letting anything else come in. And a lot of the times, the best things that can happen when you're creating, when you're doing movements, you know, like you know, it's sports related stuff. You know, your best performances are when you're basically like locked in, and when you're locked in, you're not really thinking. You're kind of reacting, to the situation. So I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there with the drawing. I don't think I've ever really been there. Like, cause there's a part in the book where it's like, when was the last time you really felt like you were like locked in? And there's definitely a couple pages that kind of come to mind. But there's also just pages where I was like, I don't know if I was really locked in. I don't know if I was really locked in. But then it's just like, maybe I was, and I'm just being too freaking hard on myself. So just trying not to be too hard on myself. That's why I like this warm up, you know, because I'm just like, a lot of times I'll just be doing this and I'm like, look, it's fine. But obviously, you know, like anything where you're kind of, it's just really, it's a really cool book. I'd highly suggest reading it. Because it does definitely, like, it makes a case for being like, don't be negative to yourself, because it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy when you're being negative like that. But it also is like, well, don't fall into like toxic positivity either. Because that's where my brain, when I read that part, you know, where it's like, don't, you know, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're like, I suck at this, I'm never going to be better at it, then your brain just starts you know what I mean? Like, your brain just kind of like, all right, well, make it so. This guy keeps saying this. But then it's also like, so, you know, you hear that and then you're like, okay, I gotta get back on my like morning affirmations and stuff. And then it's also like, well, don't do that either, because that's like, you know, that doesn't ever really last either, you know. Which is very funny. It's like, every day, wake up. I don't know the whole affirmations thing. I think they're like a nice thing to do every now and then. But doing it every day is like, every time I've done it, like, something bad happens. Something happens to where I'm like, okay, wait a second. Actually, I'm not what my affirmations are saying. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing that happens with that. So I try not to really, like, I don't know. I really try not to, like, go too hard with affirmations anymore. I definitely did for a little bit, and I was kind of like, I don't know. This feels like, it's like the fake it till you make it kind of thing. guess like the easiest thing, big thing to remember, outside you don't really have to draw much muscle. And I mean these are pretty like unmuscular forms that we're drawing here. But I guess like just kind of setting it up, you really don't have to do much. Hopefully I'm not like breathing into the mic. If I am, please let me know in the comments. Looks like we're gonna run out of space here. That's okay. Nice. Oh, forgot about this lady, little lady right here. Let's not be chickens. Even though it's quite tempting to be like, I don't need to draw this. we at? I've been having a really good time with this particular sketchbook, and I think I might just switch all future sketchbooks to the wire bound at the top. I don't know, the ideas that are in this sketchbook plus like the anatomy studies have just been really flowing, and I think this is just like the sketchbook for me now. I've been using the you know, like the hardcover sketchbooks for a really long time, and you know, I've plowed through a bunch. Hold up, I need to make a thing that says wider. I always do this. Never make this stuff wide enough. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I think this might have to be like the new sketchbook for me. Because I guess, you know, I like, who doesn't like a nice hardcover sketchbook, right? But they're kind of a pain in the ass to work in. Because of that spine in the middle can just become so very annoying. This, I feel like I can just kind of like grab it and go. I don't know. So I don't know why it's taken me this many years to finally try one of these little guys out, but so far so good. I just feel I've tried like every sketchbook. I have one for nosebleed that's like one of the little like tiny guys for like on the go, and like I was like, okay, not feeling this. I've tried drawing in it like all year just to like keep like thumbnails and things of that nature in there, and I'm like, I hate drawing this small. I mean, it's like a real tiny, like, you know, pocket sketchbook, little Derick sketchbook, which is pretty neat. Derick brand. They should sponsor me. I'm gonna hit up Derick brand and be like, yo, my name's literally Derick. Like, what you guys want to do? What you guys want to do? Really nice sketch pad. It's a really nice sketchbook, but it's just too tiny. I thought having something small that I could just kind of throw in my pocket would be good, but not so much. So I've been switching to this sketch pad, and I was trying to do this thing where I keep all the sketch pads kind of separate, you know, like one has studies in it, one has ideas in it, but so this sketchbook, I don't even know what this one was supposed to be for, but it's basically just kind of become an all-inclusive book. I feel bad. I was sketching at the bar by my house, and this lady who's kind of like she's like the bar drunk. I kind of try to keep my distance from her because I've seen her she kind of starts out nice, and then as the night goes on, she keeps drinking and just kind of gets really nasty, just really intense. But she was like, oh my God, can I see your sketchbook? And I was like, no. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, it's just not good. Like, a lot of people will do that. A lot of people will like see me sketch. That's why I don't really like to sketch in public, because people want to see they're like, can I see what you're doing? And I'm like, no, dude, like it's not good. You know what I mean? It's not like a sketchbook. It's not even like that. It's like personal or anything like that. It's just like, it ain't for public consumption. This is, I'm like, go check out my, I think I was actually sketching in this one, and some people came up to me and they're like, oh my God, can we see what you're drawing? And I was like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I was like, go on my Instagram. Like, you can actually see like what I can do. Cause I don't like sketch in my sketchbook. I don't really like sit there and like, I don't have sketchbook drawings really. You know what I mean? Like my sketchbooks are for like working stuff out. Like they're very much like, I have this idea, I'm trying to figure out the idea. They're not like, oh, here's this really cool, beautiful drawing I did in my sketchbook. It's like, why the hell is it in my sketchbook? You know what I mean? I'm like, put it on paper, man. I saved the sketchbook is literally just like, okay, I think this idea will work. Let's try it out. But I get it, people see someone doing something and they want to look, but I also try not to be like mean. I'm not mean about it. I'm just like, yeah, it's just not good. And they're like, no, you're just being modest. I'm like, no, I'm dead ass serious. Like I've had enough people look at my sketchbooks and then go, like, they look at it for about a minute and then they just hand it back to me and go, you're really talented. And I'm like, oh God. So I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, yeah, you're seeing a bunch of fucking scribbles, like another artist. If it was like another artist, I would show my sketchbook to, because they would understand. They would see what's going on. But showing it to civilians, unless you're just a sketchbook artist, like I don't do that crap. In the background, we've got some Fly Low, some old Flying Lotus, Cosmogramma, going on. Cosmogramma always makes me nostalgic for Japan, and I've never been to Japan. But it makes me feel like I really got to get a Japan trip in. Really got to do that soon. I feel bad, but like I just like my girl's like, where do you want to go next? Where do you want to go next? And I'm like, I want to go to Japan, but I don't want to go with you. Which that sounds awful, but like she's not into like cartoons. She's not into Japanese animation. She's not into like Ghibli movies. Like she's not into that shit like at all. So it'd be like I would be having a ball. And it's not like she'd sit there and like huff or anything. Like she's like really cool. But it's kind of like, you're like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna like share the same enthusiasm. You know what I mean? I wish Japan was a place you could go by yourself, but that is not a good idea. Like you traveling, I mean, I've gone to China And there was a couple days where I was mostly by myself, and I was like, all right, never mind. Traveling by yourself is very depressing. This is not cool at all. This is really not great. Especially in like a country like where like people, you know, really give each other space. Like China and I've also heard Japan is like that. Like they don't just make small talk. You know what I mean? But I really want to go because I think Japan might be the place for me, man. I like a society that, like, I mean, I know like the rules are strict, or like, you know, there's kind of a little bit of like strictness there, but I just like the public wise, they're, you know, they're into keeping some type of status quo where, you know, the streets are clean, people are on subways, they don't talk. You know, I think that's such a sick move. Because in New York, I mean, the thing with New Yorkers, man, and I guess probably just Americans in general, like, it's just like everybody's just so narcissistic. You know? I feel like even when I was in China, like, I mean, we were in some packed situations, and I feel like people still weren't blaring crap on their phones. God, there's just nothing worse. There's just nothing worse than getting on a train car and some idiot is sitting there staring at their phone while it's like the volume is all the way up. They've never once heard of headphones. It's mind-boggling to me. And then the speakerphone thing is just crazy to me too. I'm like, you want everyone in this car to hear your conversation? Like, that's crazy to me. The only thing that makes sense about the speakerphone is that, like, yeah, holding a cell phone up next to your face is tough. I mean, especially in the summer, like, it's hot. But people will be like, you know, I've been in and out of like PT pretty much all year, and just having to go to like the doctor a lot all year, and just the amount of people that'll be sitting in a waiting room on the phone, speakerphone, just having a conversation. It's like insane. It's like, dude, like, you want me to hear your like insanely personal conversation right now? Like, you don't care at all that there's a stranger right next to you that's like listening to you talk about, you know, just personal stuff. I'm like, dude, like, this is crazy to me. We've really fallen off as a society. It's kind of a bummer, but you know, it's like a give and take, right? Like, I lived in Chicago for 3 years, and I started using the public transportation like the last year I was there. And people want to talk mess about the homeless situation in New York, but those bros don't like live on the train. Like in Chicago, like the homeless people out there, unfortunately, like they do not have the infrastructure like they have in New York, where there's plenty of places for like homeless people to kind of go, or maybe like, yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot, like homeless people here have like a lot of help. Whereas in Chicago, I don't think they do. So it's not uncommon to just get into like a train car that, and like half of the train car is taken up by a person that lives, like literally is living on the train. I've been in train cars where like literally someone had literally defecated. You're like, what the frick? I remember I got into a train car one time and it was pretty packed and everybody was kind of more so at the, you know, it was just a packed train, but I was like, oh, there's a single seat right there. Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to get that. And so I walked back there and then, yep, someone had used the bathroom there. And somehow, like, I was like, the main thing you know, I don't want to get gross, but whatever. We'll talk about something else. But yeah, so Chicago trains are way worse than New York trains. Chicago trains, it's like people will sit there and like light a cigarette. Chicago trains are wild, dude. Like I've been in so many train cars where I was just like, dude will literally be sitting there. The train car will be full of people. I guess because most people out there drive, so not a whole lot of people use the train system. And the shy. But yeah, it's dicey. If you can walk. It's dicey, man. That's the place where, like, you know, I mean, New York is one thing. I'm sure there's parts of the city, but the thing with New York is that there's always people around. Granted, they're useless now because everyone sees something going on and will literally just, like, instead of being like, we should help, like, you know, you'll see a fight going on and like 10 people will just automatically pull out their phone and will get close enough to be like recording, you know. And it's like, yo, help? I don't know, like, what if, you know. But I did see one situation one time down on 14th Street where a bunch of people tried being good Samaritans and so many people caught strays. A guy got spit on. He was trying to like break up like a fight between like two, I'm guessing they were homeless. Tried to break up the fight, got spit on. I was like, all right. I thought about going over there to be like, okay, like maybe I should like try to intervene. Once I saw the guy get spit on, I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. No one's about to spit on me. It's about to be a three-way fight now. If I catch a stray spit on me, like, nah, bro, I'm sorry. Now we're all going to jail, you know? Now everyone's going to jail. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, a lot of people tried. A lady got like hit in like the arm with like a freaking you do, unfortunately, in New York, you do have to just mind your business because you don't know what transpired. When you see people fighting like that, you don't know what led to that. You don't know who's the victim. You don't know who's the starter of it. So just best to just mind your own business. Call the cops. You know, you can call the cops. Give the cops a call. Let the people that get paid to do this stuff, you know, do their job. You don't need to be out there getting stabbed trying to be a good Samaritan. Who the fuck is that? Sorry, 1 second. think I've complained enough about this, but people keep ringing my bell. You can ring my bell. Anyway. Yeah, man, don't be a hero. You know what happens to heroes? They eventually get beat by villains. It's a thing though, man. In New York, you know, I've definitely run into some situations where I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like I saw a lady get hit by a car, and I just immediately ran. I just took off running to go help. And it wasn't until after the situation I was like, wait, why did I just do that? You know, you want to help people out and everything, but it's like I don't think I actually helped. You know what I mean? I just kind of was in the situation now, you know, with all these other people. Like my friend was with me, and he's lived in New York like his entire life, and he just like stayed on the curb and just watched me, you know. And then afterwards, he was just like, he didn't even ask like what happened. He was just like, anyway, so blah 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 blah. He just kind of kept this conversation going. I was like, damn, dude, you've been here too long. Like, bro, a lady got hit by a car, and the car kept going. He's like, yeah, I don't know. It fucking happens all the time here. That's the thing that kind of sucks about the longer you stay in a city, you get desensitized pretty quick. I mean, you see crazy stuff all the time, and then you're just like, oh, I saw a naked guy today, just like out on the street. So anyway, you guys want to get pasta? What are you guys thinking? You guys thinking some pho? You know, I haven't had pho in a really long time. I saw a guy get stabbed today on the train. I don't know. You guys feeling pad thai? Pad thai could be good. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Like if I lived in like the suburbs, you know, you like lose that like, because then when you do visit a city, you're like handing out money, you know. You're trying to help. You're trying to be one of those people that's like, there's one time I was on the train in New York, and these people were clearly from out of town, and so they get into, you know, like 42nd Street or whatever. It's like always the craziest because it's just packed. And so this woman's like trying to get in, and her and her husband, she's just like, can everyone just like move further in? And everyone looked at her and was just like, and then went back to whatever they were doing. Like literally just gave her just like, and she was just like, really? And then she just like tried to run to like another car. It's like, yeah, dude, welcome to New York. You gotta just push your way in or go to another car. It's like, this ain't no time to be a kindergarten teacher. It was very much like kindergarten energy. It's just like, okay guys, we're gonna move further in, we're gonna make some room. It's like, who are you, the president, lady? Get the hell out of here. Oh, so funny. Literally everyone just like looked at her and was like, you think we all don't know that, you stupid idiot? You gotta just push your way in. Nothing's gonna happen. People might gruff or they're just gonna move. You gotta just bump yourself right up on the backside of someone and just be like, oh, someone's gonna do it to you. You just gotta get real intimate with people for about 20 minutes. Just so funny. It's so funny that she thought that was gonna work. I'm like, dude, if my girlfriend did that, I'd be like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up. What are you doing? I'm like, just get in there. move. What are you, crazy? Get a shot. I have to drive to Flatbush today. Talk to a printer about print Nosebleed 4. Right now it's just going to be called Nosebleed 4.5. I'm also dabbling with I mean, I do kind of want to do Nosebleed A and B. Or maybe like Nosebleed. Maybe I'll do Pokemon colors. Maybe I'll do like Nosebleed Red and then Nosebleed Blue or something like that. That could be interesting. Because someone already took doing their comic and then naming it 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D. So I can't do that because then everybody's just gonna be like, oh, you're copying such and such. I'm like, no, even though it's like one of my favorite comics, no. So yeah, maybe Pokemon colors is the way to go. Nosebleed Alpha, Nosebleed Omega. There you go. That's too epic. Nosebleed Alpha is way too epic. That's kind of sick though. Dang, dude, should we call it Nosebleed Alpha? That's kind of nasty. I might do Nosebleed Alpha. Or I was thinking about doing like Nosebleed 4.1, you're not meant to be here. You know, like go Evangelion. But then I was listening to a short video featuring Katsuhiro Otomo. And he was talking mad. He was like, yeah, these new guys, it's not even their fault, it's the companies. Nobody knows how to write anymore, so they get the editors to write. And all the editors are doing is basing stuff off a video game that they played. They don't even read manga. And then they just hire some kid to go make this comic. He's like, nobody knows how to even tell a story anymore. They're just copying from animes and video games. So I was like, dang, dude. But so I don't want to name it after, like, I don't want to like rip off Evangelion. Maybe I could do like Nosebleed Shoegaze. Damn, that's already taken too. Nosebleed like You Are Not Alone. Because I kind of want to get rid of the numbers, because this is one thing I learned the hard way, unfortunately. You number your book, everybody's going to come up to your table, and they're going to get number one no matter what. If they buy something, they're going to buy number one. And currently I'm out of number one, so it's been really tough to be like, you know, like I'm like, yeah, here's like a download card for Nosebleed 1, or you can read it online. People are like, oh, I'll just read it online then. I'm like, God dang it. So, but if you get rid of the numbers and people like the cover, they'll just buy it, and then you're just like, yeah, just, you know, I don't know. There's information on there where to read Nosebleed 2, 3. So, I mean, Retribution would be kind of cool, but it's, again, right, it's like so epic. It's like way too epic. Way too serious, you know what I mean? Like, Nosebleed Retribution sounds like Resident Evil Retribution. Which goes, I don't think I want to go watch that movie. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know, what are they getting Retribution for? Freaking zombies. I could just call it Nosebleed. I mean, I guess the name's right. Maybe I just won't number it. Okay. This is a real thinky stream today. We're thinking, folks. And running news. I mean, I guess I could just do nosebleed 4.5. It kind of works, but it's still got the number in it. You know what I mean? It's still got the, like, trying to tell people, like, you know, because you go to these shows and you're like, well, this is debuting, and they're like, oh, well, it's number 2. Well, I'll just get number 3, and you're like, God damn it! You got to be a real good salesman to be like, buy all of them, so then you can just read. They're like, can I get them online? And they're like, yeah. So I'm just gonna lie. I'm just gonna be like, nope, can't get it online. You get it either today or never, basically, until you see me again. But I get it. People are, you know, this is like the best and worst time to be a creative, because the economy is in the toilet, bro. The economy is down, so you already know it's gonna be a bunch of homies going down. Like, I feel bad. Like, that's why I haven't really been, like, pushing anything this year. You know, because I'm just like, I don't know if people need more crap. Like, I bought groceries today, and I bought 4 things, and it was somehow $60. So I was like, I know everyone's feeling it. If my broke butt's feeling it. All right. We got one more page left. We got 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do. These have to be Buscema legs. I'm very convinced these are like Buscema drawings. Like the person was looking at some Buscema comics. That's a fun thing you can do too. If you guys are like bored drawing, there's a lot of really good figure drawing content on YouTube where like people will literally do like a figure session. You know what I mean? Like they have like a live model, but you know, it's hard doing that just because you're not actually in the room with the model. You're like looking at a picture of a model. It's kind of tough. It's very tough. But if it's the only thing you got, like there's no figure, you live in a town where there's like no figure drawing at, hey, start one. You know, start one up. You and your friends can all take turns being the model. But if you don't want to do that and you're like, that's a nightmare, don't want to do that, grab your comics, grab like some of your favorite comics, and then just set up a timer for like 1 to 2 minutes and do your gestures based off of like your favorite comics or your favorite art. Movies are pretty good at that too. You know, you can get some cool sports. Put on like an MMA fight. Only problem with like the movie thing is just like it can very quickly divulge into you just like watching a movie instead of getting like stuff drawn. That's what always happens to me anytime I've been like, oh, I'll just put on, you know, I'll put on Fully Cooley and I'll just draw some of the scenes that I'm seeing. And I just end up watching Fully Cooley. And then I'll be like, why am I in a bad mood? It's like, oh yeah, I didn't get anything done today. All right, we are at an hour. That's it for today. When we get back, we're gonna start at page 88. All right, see you punks tomorrow. We're almost at the end. This is crazy.